Hey guys, Trina here. So today I want to go over, as you guys can see in the thumbnail, a lot of people are talking about leaving Yu-Gi-Oh, quitting Yu-Gi-Oh, taking a break. I'm one of those taking a break right now. In the sense of playing, I did go through my case of Rarity 2. That's why I'm showing you this screen. Here's this right here, plus all this is the product of my sales that I did on TCG Player with Rarity 2. I did spend $1,400 on the case, so aside from fees I did hit it here alone, but I didn't realize that I opened up really well on the case because I did pull all three access code, APO, and IP QCR, as well as Droll, DD Crow, Ghost Ogre, Ghost Partner, all of them QCR. And I sold Ghost Mortar, Ghost Ogre, and Droll on eBay for 40, 40, 50 within the first 2 days of opening the case. And then I sold APO, IP, and access code QCRs the day the cases came out on the 21st. So I actually made a lot more than the money back. I'm plussing about 350 right now. Pretty good, you know. Not nearly as good as the Rarity one, but and obviously the prices have already died on it, so I was lucky enough to sell them right away. But I plan to use the sales from here to invest into probably a case of Infinite Forbidden if after the openings happen and I feel like it's good and it's going to be solid. It's going to be really tricky because it kind of goes along with what I want to talk about tonight. So MCole40, a guy that I follow, Yasin, Mega Capital G. I follow a lot of the YouTubers, right? Because I'm also pursuing YouTube right now, and so you gotta follow who's leading that area. But a lot of them, like within the past few days, have come out with videos of quitting and things like that. Not them themselves, but people in the game, players that they talk to, like high caliber players. The team I'm on, Team Straw Hats, consists of 4 people right now. Sorry, one of them's taking a break for personal reasons. I've decided to take a break from the format because of ban list and just the staleness and everything. It's just dumb shit game right now. Another buddy of mine who's on the team, she decided to quit once the ban list came out and there was no hits directly to Snake Eye, and she's been playing Pokemon ever since then. She sold all of her stuff to me, another teammate, and other people, and immediately invested into Pokemon. And then another person on our team, he plays locally, occasionally and everything like that, but he's even stressed the fact too that like he feels the game has stagnated and it's just not fun. Which I hardcore agree with. This is part of the reason why I'm making this video. Funny enough, I'm actually listening to them talk about what's coming next for Pokemon at NIAC Nationals or something like that. I have invested into a Lugia EX deck. Looking to invest into a Lorcana deck, possibly a Digimon, or maybe even a One Piece deck. It's just it's just where we've come to, you know. Yu-Gi-Oh right now just has all the makings of like a very boring, stale game. For me, a lot of that is to do with the ban list. When they hit Baron and they traded Baron for Protoss, I was excited for all of 10 minutes, and then after that I was like, wait, that's a horrible trade. Especially because you know me, guys, like I'm a Sword Soul guy, right? That's my deck. And a lot of folks have laughed about it at me, especially in Facebook groups and everything, when I make the comment of like, people are asking, well, what do I run in Sword Soul right now? And I'm like, well, you can't because it's banned. And a lot of people are just like, you're an idiot. Protos is so much better. This deck is better than it's ever been. Really? Really? I would have 10,000 times over take Baron over Protos any day. Any day. Matter of fact, if they came out tomorrow and just on the ban list alone just brought Baron to 1, I'd probably be at locals that next week playing Sword Soul. Or playing whatever deck I wanted. I'd play Infernoble, I'd play Manadium, I'd play Vanquish Soul, I'd play Fire King Snake Eye, I'd play Voiceless Voice. I'd be playing right now, you know? Just for one card. Because that one card kept me interested in the game. It wholeheartedly did. And I want to give you my perspective before I go into deeper perspective, because the general consensus of why people are quitting right now is because games like Lorcana, Pokemon, One Piece, we as Yu-Gi-Oh players have finally opened our eyes and compared the prizing support in Yu-Gi-Oh to these other games. And after comparing it, we're idiots for playing this game competitively. I don't play this game competitively, so I don't feel as stupid, but we are not fooling anybody for a second saying that Yu-Gi-Oh's prizing support competes with any other of those games. Because in fact, it just doesn't. At all. Pokemon gives out money. One Piece, the prizing there, the Lorcana prizing, the thought of what Disney could do for prizing terrifies me to a point where Yu-Gi-Oh might just die. Could you imagine in 2 to 3 years from now if like Disney backs up Lorcana and decides they're gonna host their nationals on a cruise ship, or the winner gets an all-expense-paid trip to Disney World, or who knows if they decide to ever do money? It's scary because the moment Disney decides to back up Lorcana seriously and do something of that nature, they'll lose me as a player. In Colorado, I can already think of about 20 to 50 other people they'll lose right away. And if you think about that in every city, and then it just starting to add on more and more and more, because Nintendo's gonna be done with the Switch, I think this year. So what are you doing next, Konami? And how many more in Otherverse Dragon? I know you guys probably have like the warehouse that you broadcasted your worlds from last year full of Anotherverse Dragon, but like I don't know, guys, when is it to a point where you say enough is enough? Like, get on board or I'm out. Because that's something you really have to voice as a community. You can't just be one player. I mean, I take that back. If the game's top players, top 10 players, in whoever's opinion, all came out and voiced it together, the entire community, the entire playbase would spark a conversation, right? At least. But that's another underlining factor that goes into why people are leaving, is there's no communication. The ban list whole thing, it's a joke. All these other games do rotations. Like Pokemon, and that's why I went and invested into a deck, is because, like, you know what you have for the next 3 years until rotation. You know exactly when. You know exactly how long you have to just, okay, now is probably the time to sell because in about 2 months I'm getting my new ship. And you're guaranteed, you're safe. Like, my favorite Pokemon deck of all time, Mew VMAX, just went through a rotation, but was the best deck in the game for like 3 years. And people knew exactly when it was going away. Nobody complains, nobody cries, nobody moans. Like, you're upset, yeah, because you're like, darn, there goes my favorite deck. But they keep it interesting, and they reset the game. They reset the power level. There is no power creep. There is no 4-card ban list. There is nothing like that. And there's communication. Hey, players, this is when the rotation will happen. I don't know what Lorcana does as far as a ban list or a rotation. I haven't dived into the game that much, or One Piece. I think One Piece does a ban list. But like, I've started to explore all these other TCGs, and I just like compare it to Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's just like, every time I compare it, I'm like, holy cow. And what sucks is that Yu-Gi-Oh is the best card game. Like, it has the most interaction, it has intricacies, it has the extra deck, siding, all of that, that just other games don't offer, right? So that's the thing that's going for it. But literally everything else about the game, to me, is just bottom tier. And it sucks. Because what do you do? You know? I guess, like, for me, I've made the decision of, like, coming to a point of, do I just keep my Sword Soul on Infernoble Knight and play it casually every 6 months or something at a tournament, and then just go do other games and stop making Yu-Gi-Oh content? What do I do there? You know? And the answer is, right now, is, you know, explore other games. Have fun. Go do that, because there is no loyalty to Konami. There is no loyalty to Yu-Gi-Oh that I feel. I don't feel like I'm abandoning anything, except for fans of Sword Soul who like my take on it. And, you know, I don't think I'm just gonna quit cold turkey and just never talk about Yu-Gi-Oh again, but I'm definitely gonna be exploring other TCGs, and I'll probably make like playlists on my YouTube channel where you can go and watch like deck profiles of Pokemon decks or Lorcana if I decide to invest that or something of that nature. But I want to keep going with Sword Soul because I have hope that somebody at Konami, and this is just me talking, I have hope that somebody at Konami is going to say, hey, we fucked up with the Baron ban. Let's just put it to one. Because you can't tell me that you're promoting negates and all that bullshit, and then boom, Skull Guardian comes out and that level 10 XYZ comes out, and they're both instantly negates. I get it, they're in archetype. You might as well have called Baron Sword Soul Baron. Like, damn. And I get it. Like, the other half of the fence bitches and moans because it was generic, negation, yada yada yada. If you're telling me after all this time that you lose to Baron, that's just you're a dog shit player. And the reason, okay, so here's the thing that I've told a lot of people is that when I talk about Baron, I tell you right out the gate, when I play Sword Soul and I had Baron, I didn't, like, Baron was the last thing I was thinking about going to ever. And I even said it in a few of my deck profiles when I looked back on it, like, Baron is not that important. You don't have to rely on it. But Baron checks so many things because of the fear of Baron coming out. And so many decks were just like, I'm not even going to bother playing Nib because you're just going to Baron me beforehand. Whereas now, if I were to pull up with Sword Soul, probably 95% of the tournament has Nib in the main or in the side. So what do? I'm just going to get my Nib and you're done. Like, it's a joke, you know, it sucks. Same goes for Infernoble. Like, some of the coolest combos I was doing with Infernoble Snake Eye included Baron. Now that Baron's gone, like, what do I do at that part of the combo? Do I just, instead of going into Baron, do I go into Chicha? Or Changing? What? Like, so the point I'm trying to make is, if you want a player like me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, I know there's a few of you out there who agree with me because you've told me privately, if you want me to come back, just put Baron to 1. I'll advocate for you, at least at that part. I gotta agree with a lot of people saying that the pricing is a joke, because it is. I've read up on it, and I saw Christian Urena, and I've seen other top players who have won even just say, wow, I won and I got a Nintendo Switch. Whereas players are going and winning Pokemon, and they're good for, like, I don't know, 3 weeks worth of money. You know, like, you put all this hard work into it, you fly out there, you spend, God, what, 16 hours playing a card game, and you get a Nintendo Switch? Like, I don't know, man. I just don't get it. And then again with the ban list thing, like, communication. I gotta agree with Yassine. I'm sick and tired of the non-communication and the ban list just every few months and no idea of when it's happening. Like, the OCG gets a fucking announcement of when it's gonna be. Like, what the hell, man? You know, why in the world can you not do that for the TCG if the OCG can do it? So those are a couple of things. Another thing is the game itself is just stale. Like, I'll agree with MCole40. You know, he's not even going to Indy this weekend. He said, fuck off, I'm gonna go play Vanguard. Because I'd rather not, this format sucks. And it does. It's dog water. You either play Snake Eyes, Tenpai, or Branded. It's trash. All three of those decks are trash. They're degenerate, like, scummy trash. And I own the engines for 2 of them. I own an entire Tenpai core and an entire Snake Eye core. And, you know, because I was mixing up Tenpai with Kashtira and possibly Sword Soul, and I was mixing up fucking Snake Eyes with Infernoble, and then boom, the ban list happened. And now I just haven't sold them because I was hoping the ban list would happen and they would correct their mistake. But they didn't. They're not going to. In all likelihood, Baron's gone. And another thing is that Infinite Forbidden will be legal a week before the national event. And those prices are going to be through the roof. So it's literally going to be pay to play. Either you can afford Fiendsmith and that whole thing and then the trip out to wherever Nationals are, or you can't. You can only afford one or the other? Well, that sucks. Guess you don't get to compete. Like, their answer to the meta right now was either we're going to power creep or we're going to do another Vandalist, and they chose we're going to take our chances of the power creep. So they're going to try and power creep Snake Eyes a week before Nationals. It's just, decision making like this is just insane to me. The people in the office, I just want to sit down and have a conversation with them. And I would just start off with, how are you this fucking stupid? Please explain it to me. And there's those of you on the other side, there may be those of you out there that are loving this, and you just think this is the funnest shit since French bread, that, you know, all your woes are done now because Baron's gone, you know, something like that. I don't know. Like, you danced in the street naked because Baron's gone. There's some of you that Snake Eyes is your favorite deck ever made, and you'll play it even after they ban it into the ground one day. And good on you, man. Or girl, I'm glad you're enjoying this game. That's good for you. There's just a lot of other people that are not, you know? And I want you to see eye to eye from that. Because I can respect it. If you're enjoying this, hey, this video's not for you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep winning those locals. Hopefully you win the YCS. Hopefully you can win Nats against Fiendsmith with your Snake Eyes. Like, hopefully you can do it. But there's a lot of us, like myself included, that really just don't want to see Snake Eyes Ash normal summon at Nats and Worlds. Kind of sick of it. Like, I'm ready for it to just go, you know? And a lot of people just say, well, it's brand new, It's 6 months now. Today's the 31st. It's been 6 months. How long was Tier Shizu full power? Like 3 months? So we're already double that time. What you guys did this time is you threw a wrench and you threw a Tenpai in there. Like a degenerate engine that just does insane degenerate crap. And you just made it cheaper for everybody to afford. If that's your answer, you know, like, it's just... When I watch those videos of other people quitting and I understand and see their logic, and I sit back for myself and take it all in and say, how do I feel about that, you know? How does that make me feel as a player? Like, it's quite simple. Like, I tend to agree with them on all their bases. Like when Yassine sat and said, I'm just sick of the ban list. I felt it. When M. Cole says, I'm taking a vacation this weekend because this format sucks. I felt it. Mega Capital G talking about, like, Christian Urena and all those other guys, and, like, the players that were good players in Yu-Gi-Oh! Who were taking pictures of themselves during other card games, like, felt it, you know, because they made the jump that I'm, like, talking myself into. So it just, right now, I'm very excited to explore other TCGs, but at the same time, I just feel let down by Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I know they could do better. Right? I know they could do, we all know they could do better. They made this really cool interactive fucking game with all these different aspects and cool mechanics and craziness with the extra deck and all that stuff. Like, why can't you just, if you have the creativity to do all that, why don't you have the creativity to do what these other TCGs are doing? They already laid you out the map for you. All you gotta do is be like, oh, we'll take a piece of that. But instead, you're just throwing a Nintendo Switch out there. Like, Like, what is it? Are you guys idiots? Like, or can you use a brain cell? You know? So, to me, it's just... it's a sucky situation. So, like I told you guys, I plan to invest this in Infinite Forbidden. I'm gonna wait and see what the reveals show. And once I see the reveals, I'll make a choice. Because if it doesn't live up to expectation, or if I don't like it, I'll invest it into Lorcana or whatever other TCG that I want at the time. My hope going into next format, because I know Ice Barrier will be out, Fiendsmith will be out, there will be other stuff, because a lot of people are saying this is going to be like the greatest set since Age of Overlord. Power of the Elements, things like that. Nature is what they're saying this set has the capability of being. So I'll give it a chance to see what it's got. I'll mess around with it. My buddy Jose swears up and down that he's going to make Sword Soul with the new Ice Barrier support, and he's going to make it insane. That I'll not even care Baron's gone anymore. So I'm going to trust him. I'm going to trust my buddy. But I'm letting you guys know right now, please don't be deterred and unsubscribe when you see like Pokemon deck profiles or maybe Lorcana deck profiles, more matches or something like that. It's just at that point. Because I've given it time since the ban list happened, and I keep on telling you guys in all my videos, I'm gonna wait and see, I'm gonna wait and see. Well, I've waited and I've seen. And I told you, like, the thing that broke the camel's back was Rarity 2. They had a chance to draw me in, and honestly, once I saw the reveals, I said, alright, this is not for me right now. Who knows, maybe they'll get it back on board by the end of the year or something like that. Like, I don't know. My hope for Konami is that someone is paying attention to the player base on YouTube. They can see that the big name players are not really doing as much content like they usually do during formats because it's boring. And I'm hoping that they see that and somebody has enough of a brain cell to say, hey guys, we need to change shit up because we're going to start losing player base. Or that they go watch, I mean, let me get along with what I want for Konami. I want somebody in the office to see that. And then I want that person to explain to the people in the ban list department and the player base, player relations department. I want them to go to the next Lorcana Invitational or the next Pokemon regional / NAIC, even Worlds. I would actually love for them to go to Pokemon Worlds and just see what they take away from it. Compare what they give us to what those games give their players. And take notes. And then sit down and discuss it. And tell each other in that room, does our game even compete with that? And if it does, A, explain it. But if it doesn't, maybe, because you're in a job, you apply yourself to your job and you make it better. So, that's my want for Konami. My want for the player base is don't be afraid to explore other TCGs. You owe Konami and Yu-Gi-Oh! Nothing. If shit's greener on the other side, go to where it's greener on the other side. You know? It took me 2 weeks to come to terms with this, and I'm hoping it doesn't take you guys any longer than that, because I think that took me a while. But like, there is no loyalty factor here, you know? Like, Konami's not gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, Billy, why are you playing Pokemon?" They obviously don't give a fuck about you. Have you seen Rarity 2? They could give a shit less about you, Billy. So my challenge to you is just be willing to go explore. Find one of the games that appeal to you and explore it, you know? Like I told you. By the way, I bought 2 Pokemon decks. One of them is a tier 1 Meta Breaker, and then I bought a fully blinged out old Mew VMAX deck because it was my favorite deck last format and I wanted it. And I'm talking with like secret rares, full arts, all those things. I spent $100 on that, and then I spent $116 on a full hollow reverse holofoil version of Lugia EX. So I spent $200. Got a tier 1 deck and a fun pet deck. What would $200 get you in Yu-Gi-Oh? Would it get you 2 decks? One of them being tier 1? I guess I could get Tenpai. With staples, Trident's 100 and 60 for the super. Yeah, probably not. So just consider those things. Lorcana is going to be expensive. One thing I've heard and I understand fully is Lorcana is expensive, and I get that. I've been looking into Lorcana and deciding if I want to play it, which I kind of do. They have a hero deck. I was looking at the Mufasa character that won the Invitational, looking pretty cool. I know he's like $15, but it looks cool, man. It's Disney, you know. So yeah, and my buddy's shop just made a new chat and everything for Lorcana. Hardcore Yu-Gi-Oh shop, but they all agree and just said, hey, let's do a Lorcana chat for anybody that wants to start learning Lorcana. And I instantly said, I'm in. Yeah, I want to learn Lorcana. Like, let me jump in with this group. So that's just where we stand, man. That's where it is. I'll continue making Yu-Gi-Oh videos. I'll continue doing deck profiles, talking about latest news as it comes. Things like that. It's just until shit changes, you're gonna see me also doing news for other card games. Like, I'll probably do a video about Nationals and Pokemon and talk about when that. I'll probably do a video on Lorcana as the game develops because it just looks good. It's just better right now. Those games are really thriving right now, and Yu-Gi-Oh is sitting on the back burner. So hopefully Yu-Gi-Oh will step up. Hopefully they'll be able to correct things either with new cards. They'll do a good ban list. I don't know, maybe, how long has it been since we had a master rule change? Like, maybe that's what the game could use, is a new master rule that'll change the dynamic and turn the tides, maybe make something fun now. But just as it stands right now, this game is just not fun to me. So, I'll end my soapbox there. I'll finish it with, please, if you want to get me back in this game, please, for the love of baby Jesus, just bring her back, man. Bring her back, and I will be at locals next week. So that's my ask. I know there's some players that share that with me, you know, and everything, but I don't think it's enough for Konami to notice anything. So, yeah, I guess keep on rolling with your Thunder Dragon Colossuses, and for you Sword Soul players, I hope Protoss is gonna win you that regional or YCS or something. At least maybe get you a few tops at locals. But yeah, so that's where I stay with Yu-Gi-Oh right now. But as you guys will see in the month of June, I plan on doing a whole bunch of deck profile videos. I do a ban list prediction is what I'm going to plan on doing probably mid-June. I'll do a ban list prediction for hopefully the month of July. I doubt it now because they announced that Infinite Forbidden will be live for Nationals, but I was hoping they would get a ban list. But probably not going to get one now until like August or September. But yeah, so that'll be it for me. Please like, comment, subscribe if you guys like content. If you like somebody who's not afraid to be real with you, that's me. So anyway, be kind, be respectful, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Peace.